Welcome back. Episode 45 of Basics and Beyond the podcast. I am super excited that you are here today. Today, you are going to learn one strategy that you can take right away and apply when life is lifing and stress is stressing and you feel like throwing everything out the window and jumping off track. Welcome back to Basics and Beyond the podcast, episode 45. I am so glad that you are here today. I'm so glad that I'm here today. I don't do these as often as I want to. Truly, I would love to put out podcasts multiple times a week. I just don't. It's just, gosh darn, you know how that goes. Life gets super busy. So I want to always make sure that when I come to you with authenticity and genuine information and application of things that are actually going to help you. So not only am I glad that I'm here today, I'm super glad that you are here today. So this podcast, I think this episode is going to really hit home for a lot of people. And it really needs to be said. We really need to talk about this because I hear these kinds of things from women I talk to all the time, even men I talk to, right? Not just clients, but people on the street, people I talk to at the gym, wherever I happen to be, this comes up. They ask questions about what I do, right? That kind of a thing. But then it always comes to this. They tell me, oh my gosh, I know what I should be doing. I just can't seem to do it. Or I can do it for a week, or I can do it for 2 weeks. And then something happens. What's wrong with me? Like there's something wrong with me. Does that sound familiar? Of course it sounds familiar. We all do that. Even I do that. We all do that. So it should sound familiar. And that's kind of the point. We're all going through that. If it was just as easy to do the actions as it is to read about it or hear about it or know the things you know, honestly, application is a lot harder than knowledge. Information is easy to get nowadays. Applying it, now that's different. And of course, knowing what information that you need that's going to help you is even more important. So we're going to talk today about that topic, that self-sabotage topic. And I use those words because that's what everybody uses, self-sabotage, right? So everybody can access that. We all know what that means. Is it really self-sabotage though? Is it? I don't think so. We're going to flip that on its head today during this podcast. So sit down, grab a cup of coffee, whatever it is you like to drink, water, I don't know, a Monster, whatever. Or take us out for a walk and let's have the conversation today about reframing the idea of self-sabotage. And the first thing you need to think about, and the first thing we're going to talk about is the fact that it is not a character flaw. It's not laziness. It's not weakness. And it's certainly not proof that you're broken or something is wrong with you. Okay? Here's what it really is. Self-sabotage is actually self-preservation. Your brain, that is overworked, that you are constantly tick, 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 tick. That's how I explain it. It's constantly working, constantly thinking, constantly going. That beautiful brain is constantly scanning for threats. So anything new, anything that's uncertain, anything that disrupts your normal pattern, your normal kind of baseline stuff, your brain flags that as danger, like danger, Will Robinson, right? And it doesn't have to necessarily be danger. It's just something that your brain isn't used to. It's something new. It's something interesting. It's something, whatever it is. It could be a new nutrition plan, which can be good for you, right? It can be a new workout routine, which can be good for you. Changing habits that you've had for years, which can be good for you. Prioritizing yourself when you've never done that before. All of those things can be good for you. Most of the time, they're good for all of us, right? We have to kind of reevaluate where we're at and, that kind of thing, and keep moving forward and, keep improving ourselves. And, progress is key, right? But at the same time, your brain doesn't look at it that way. Your brain doesn't go, well, this is good for me. Your brain says, oh my God, that's dangerous. Abort, stop. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. We need to stop doing this. Let's find a way. So what your brain does is it creates its own logic, right? It builds you a very, very convincing case why you should not do the thing that you're trying to do, even if it's good for you, even if it's going to make you feel better, even if it's something you know that you want to do, right? So keep that in mind. This is really about your brain doing self-preservation, not self-sabotage. So let me talk to you about some of the things, some of the thoughts, some of the ways that this shows up in our thinking. Okay, so this is your brain talking. Let me know if any of these things sound okay. How about if you just do a little mental check mark, right? Do any of these things sound like something you've heard yourself say? Like you've heard this come through in your brain? What if I fail? What if I spend money on this and it doesn't work again? What if people judge me? What if it just proves again I'm not good enough? Or what if I miss out on the fun? This isn't going to make life more fun and more enjoyable. Why would I do this? And this is one I hear quite a bit because I don't know about you, but I work with a lot of people, myself included, who have a lot going on. So this is something, oh my gosh, I'm already stressed. There is no way I can handle any more things on my plate. That's a big one, especially this time of year. School's ending, you know, all the things. Even, geez, even during the school year, you can't even say it's after school, right? Like there's always times of the year where everything is a little bit busier. And it seems like it's every single time of the year that things are busier, right? And the last one that I want you to think about, and I've done this. This last one is really interesting. When your brain says to you, I already messed up. So why even bother? Let's just call it a day, do whatever we want, and start over tomorrow. I think we've all been at, oh my gosh, at least heard one of those things, if not all of them, right? They're not random, okay? These thoughts are designed by your own nervous system, your own brain, to keep you exactly where you are. Why? Because it's safe. Because, well, right? It's safe in that it's the known, right? Not the unknown. It is the known. It's familiar. It's predictable. Your brain wants to stay there because your brain wants to be as efficient as possible, right? It's got a lot of work to do. So if it can kind of put things on, geez, now I just lost it. When you were driving, autopilot, right? So if your brain can do some things on autopilot, then it can use that energy to do other things, right? So it makes sense that it's like, no. Let's just do the same stuff that we've always done. However, the truth is that same way that your brain is protecting you to keep you safe, it also keeps you stuck. It keeps you from growing, and it keeps you from being the version of you that you're trying to work toward. And here's the interesting thing. You know, I talk to a lot of people about their work and their personal lives and kind of everything. That's what I do as a coach. We work on everything, right? Everything interacts with everything. We can't silo our lives, right? Work bleeds into home, home bleeds into all these other relationships and all these other things going on. I mean, it's all interconnected, really. That's how life is. It's interesting to me, though, that these kinds of thoughts and these self-preservation techniques pop up a lot more when it comes to our health and what we're doing for our health than in any other area of our life. And I think we pay a lot more attention to it. And of course, we give it names like self-sabotage. So why wouldn't we focus on it more? It's got interesting names and people talk about it all the time. But so I wonder And I wanted to talk today about why this shows up so much and it's so prevalent in the health and fitness space anyway. Because seriously, the women and men I work with, they're busy professionals, you're high achievers, your moms and dads who are out there doing all the things. Your kids are in 310 sports, and you have to make all the food, and you have to go to work, and you have to do the lawn, and the house has to be done, and this and that. Oh my gosh. Oh, and you're supposed to have a social life, by the way, right? All of those things put you last on your priority list. So you're already running on empty. You're overextended, you're stressed, and truly, every one of you is already doing more than any one person should be doing. And most often when you go to bed, there's still some things left on the list that weren't done. And that stresses you out. And oh my God, then it adds to the next day. So adding a new health goal on top of that, your brain is going to misfire and really look at that as dangerous. Like, my God, I don't even know, woman or dude, how you can add another thing to my plate. That's what your brain's saying. So it's not looking at it as an opportunity. It's looking at it as one more thing on the list that we could possibly fail at. One more thing that's going to prove that you're not enough and that you're not being enough. And I pause there because I live in that space. I live in that space every day. I own my own business. I have my own health and wellness goals. I have a husband who works like a fiend. He works really hard. I have a dog. I know that doesn't sound like much, but that dog takes a lot of energy. And I have a family. I have extended family. I have friends. I have a house I have to work. We all have those things. And sometimes it feels like we are not enough. We aren't doing enough. We aren't proving ourselves enough. Like we have to get everything perfect in order to be valued, in order to be looked at as though we are functioning human beings. And I'm talking minimally functioning. People think they need to be perfect. I'm one of them. To just have people look at us as, oh, hey, they're just getting by minimally functioning. Wow. So that is why knowing the right things to do is not the problem. We are all very good at knowing exactly what we need to do. And there's a lot of things, right? We're all very good at that. So let's go back to health and wellness. You've always known. I mean, everybody knows. You need to eat nutritious foods. You need to move your body in a way that works for you. You need to strength train so that you have muscle. You need to get good sleep. You need to drink your water, eat your fruits and vegetables, make sure you get enough protein, have good relationships, rest, relax. We all know those things. The gap isn't knowledge. The gap is what happens when you are feeling the way we've just been talking about, when you have those feelings, when your brain is going crazy, when you're under a lot of stress, when life gets busy, when you're tired and you're overwhelmed, and something has to give. And guess what? I'm not telling you anything you don't know. The thing that gives is you. The thing that gives is you on your priority list because you're already at the bottom. It's okay. You can do it tomorrow. You'll start that new thing tomorrow. You'll get up in the morning and you'll do that elliptical tomorrow, or you'll go for a walk tomorrow. So it's a lot. I know it's a lot. It's like, yes, Laura, yes, everything you said, absolutely. So what? Right? Like, great. Thanks for pointing out the obvious, Captain Obvious. Here's the thing though. So what do we do about that self-sabotage? Because really it's about when we're under stress, we don't follow through. We kind of revert back to those things that we're used to doing. Maybe it's grabbing the Oreos. Maybe, oh my God, I was just at a graduation party this last weekend and they had pretzel rods that were decorated with different colors of almond bark. Oh my God. Almond bark is my favorite. Anybody? Anybody? I had 5 pretzel rods just standing there talking to people because I wasn't paying attention. And it was a large group of people I didn't know, where I'd kind of get a little uncomfortable. So I reverted right back and I was like, I'm just going to munch on these pretzel rods. It'll give me something to do. So it's like what we're talking about. So we know what we should be doing. We're not doing it. Give me something, right? Let's talk about one thing that you can do when life is lifing and stress is stressing and you're feeling overwhelmed and you still want to be healthy and you start to reach for whatever that thing is. Chips, salsa, that's always good too. Oreos, I don't know, whatever it is. What do we do? What do we do? Let's get to it. The single most powerful thing that I teach my clients, and also something I use myself. If you aren't following me on Instagram, I talk about this on my social media a lot, is the pause. Pause. Give yourself a timeout, right? Tell the referee, which is your brain, I need a timeout, right? You don't have to do like, people are funny. Maybe I should meditate. Well, sure. If you have time to sit down and meditate, great. I mean, there's other ways you can meditate, but in the moment, meditation's not going to do it. You don't have 5-10 minutes. You're not going to have a paper and pencil or whatever you journal with, right? This is literally in the moment, pause. In the moment, pause. So I would use the graduation party as an example, but I did not pause. I just continued to eat the pretzel rods, obviously. But I can give you an example. I had a really challenging meeting a couple of weeks ago. Walked in the door. I was exhausted. I was overwhelmed. I was frustrated. Like my brain capacity, I didn't have it. I didn't have it in me to think about anything, to do anything. And I was hungry and I knew I needed to eat. And my brain was like, all right, like literally it's talking to me. It's like, okay, Laura, here's the deal. You've just been through it, girlfriend. Let's not worry about the other stuff. I just don't have the time, the space. So how about if you just eat something easy? Just grab protein, just grab some chicken. Like I don't even care. Don't even need to warm it up. This is what my brain's saying. Just grab it and just eat it. Done. And I almost did. However, I'm not perfect at this. So don't get me wrong. It's not all the time. Most of the time, what I do is I create meals for myself. I'm like, I have to have protein. I have to have carbs, starchy carbs. I got to have some veggies in there, a little bit of fruit, maybe depending on the meal. Like it has to be a meal. It can't just be one thing. It can't just be carbs. It can't just be fat. It can't just be protein. So when my brain was telling me this and it was a really stressful time, I almost just grabbed the protein and was like, I'm just going to stand here and munch on this. But I stopped. I had my hand on the door to the fridge and I paused and I took a breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And I asked myself, what is actually going on right now? What's going on? Just asking myself that, just taking that breath, just stopping, time out, calmed me down. Now, it didn't calm me down like, woo, I'm relaxed. No, but it made me pause. It made me stop. I took that 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. What is actually going on with me right now? And what do I really need? Turns out what I really needed was to pause. Turns out I really just needed to take that 5 seconds, 10 seconds to take a deep breath or two, check in with myself. And then I was able to go, okay, I know what I need to do. It's fine. I'm fine. It's okay. Leave all that stuff. Leave it. It's done. And I was able to make the meal that I had planned to make just by taking a little time out, taking a little pause, a couple of breaths, and asking myself, what do I really need right now? And would it have been okay if I went, I don't care, I'm having protein and nothing else? Yes, that would have been fine. Because the idea is that you create that space for yourself. Just the practice of creating that space is going to help you to get out of that self-preservation mode, get out of self-sabotage, right? It's going to get you to just take a pause, take a little time out, and bring that central nervous system back online. Bring it down a couple notches. And you are going to be able to eventually do that and make that conscientious, intentional decision, that healthier decision. That's just going to happen. Maybe not right away, but at least you give yourself the pause and the break and the time to breathe. And you get to still make an intentional decision. It might not be the one that you kind of want to make in the moment. You'll get there, I promise. So here's your takeaway. Here's your takeaway from this week. When you feel the need to skip something, to avoid something healthy, to reach for the easy option, just pause. 3 to 5 seconds. Take a breath. Just give yourself a timeout. If you have to, do the little timeout sign. I don't know, whatever. Pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Or is this really what I want? Or is this what I need to do? What do I need to do? Find the question that works for you. What do I really need right now? What am I feeling right now? Because in that time, you're giving your central nervous system and your brain a little break. You're building a little capacity. And whether or not you choose the answer that, your plan says, or that you're like, oh, I didn't choose a healthy, whatever, that pause itself is the practice. And that's where you start. And that's where I start. And that's where my clients start. Okay. So let's review. Self-sabotage is not self-sabotage, really. It's not that you're broken. It's not that there's something wrong with you. It really is your brain's way, your central nervous system's way of self-preservation. Okay. And we can reroute that. We can establish different pathways for you to create better ways to preserve self, to feel better. Because real change, when it comes to health and wellness and going to the gym and eating the foods and being healthy, that real change, the kind that really sticks long-term, and it's not these shakes or powders or drinks or all these kind of, easy fix things that you see that are promoted to you, that you buy into, these multi-level marketing things. Those don't stick. Those don't stick for a lifetime. Real change that sticks for a lifetime doesn't come from those. It doesn't come from doing it quick and easy. It doesn't come from distracting yourself by chewing a ton of gum and trying to, not change, not really dig in. It doesn't come from a better meal plan or a different training session. It doesn't come from more information. It doesn't come from more willpower or more discipline. It comes from you understanding your patterns. It comes from learning what happens to you. It comes from learning what happens to me, specifically when stress hits, because I'm going to react differently than you are when stress hits. It's different for everyone. It comes from building the internal skill set that makes any result sustainable. It's the same when you're learning to read. It's the same when you're learning to write. It's the same when you're learning math. Think about it. This isn't any different, right? This isn't any different. We need to learn a different way to do it. And in order to do that, we have to understand why we're doing what we're doing. We have to see it, and we have to practice changing it. Because here's what I've seen over and over again with my clients. When they feel in control, they show up. When they feel strong, they make better choices. And when they trust themselves, truly trust themselves, they don't need perfection. No. Why? Because when you fall down, you just get back up, and they know they're going to get back up. So we need to build that for you. When you're in control, you show up. When you feel strong, you make better choices. When you trust yourself, You know that it's okay to not be perfect, and you're going to get back up. Get back up. That's what life is. I was just talking to my niece about that this morning. It's not about perfection. Loving the process of tripping, falling, standing up, running, doing all the things. It's a process. And that change from reacting to life, just reacting, tick, 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 your brain saying, no, no, do this, do that, do this, to responding to it with intention, like we talked about, taking that time out, asking what you really need and making an intentional choice. That's like taking it from relying on motivation, which comes and goes. It's not always there. We know that, to building that self-trust through practice and consistency. That'll make it so that you're not constantly starting over. It'll just be that you're finally following through. It's true. It's true. So, that was a lot. So if you felt a certain way about this, if these things resonated with you, if some of those, that list of thoughts that we talked about kind of have run through your head, like you've heard those things over and over, and you're feeling like all you do is sabotage yourself. You're feeling like, why can't I make this happen? If you heard any of those things, I know I'm just not doing things, and you're feeling guilty and you're feeling bad and you're feeling disappointed, I want you to know that you're not broken. You're not lazy. You have not failed. You just haven't had the right support and the right understanding to close that gap. To close that gap. Because your brain is doing its job. We just need to make it do it differently for you. And I want to bring this to your attention too. That's why Meryl and I call her my coach friend, but she's my friend. That's why we created the Self-Sabotage Solution. Okay. And if you've seen me on socials, you know this is coming. It's a 12-week group, and it's a group coaching experience. So we're limiting it to 15 people. It's a small group. And this experience does exactly what I'm talking about. We dig into your patterns. We figure out what happens when life is lifing and stress is stressing. We help you build the skills, that self-regulation, some self-leadership. We build confidence that will make your results last. It's small. We want to have real like deep conversation in this group. You will get real support from us as coaches and from everyone in the group. Enrollment is open. We're going to start our first meeting, Zoom meeting, is June 15th. We already have our WhatsApp group going. People are already jumping in there. That would be a great place to be. 12 weeks to dig in with people who feel the same way you do, who have dealt with the same issues you're dealing with, who have felt the disappointment, the guilt, and are tired of starting over and feeling like they're broken. Because you're not broken. If you're broken, I'm broken. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not broken. We are none of us broken. So think about that. I'm going to drop the link so that you have the link in the comments or in show notes. And if you have questions, please reach out to me about that. That cohort is going to be amazing. 12 weeks of doing some really great stuff. You're going to walk away and feel so much better and really be able to do what you need to do so you don't continue to feel like you have to start over. And while you're signing up for the Self-Sabotage Solution, remember, take what we talked about today and practice. Practice the pause. Practice the pause. Stop, time out, take a couple of breaths. What do I really need right now? How am I feeling? Practice the pause. Just practice. It's all practice. All right. So I want you to know I'm always here for you. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on TikTok, all of it. Coach Laura L Coaching. Come and find me. I even have a website. You can go there. I want you to get as much out of this as possible. I want you to feel better every day. I want you to feel strong. I want you to feel confident. I want you to feel like you have control of these things. Like you can do this, because I know that you can. I believe that you can. And I know that because I've done it myself. I've done it myself. I've worked through these things. I'm still working through them. Believe me, I'm still working through them. So reach out if you need something. Check out the Self-Sabotage Solution starting June 15th. We would love to have you come and join us. It's a small group, so you're going to want to jump in fast because those spots are going to go pretty quickly. So thank you for joining me today.